Hey guys, thanks for coming back to my channel again. Tonight we're going to talk about Mr. Peabody and Sherman, the latest film directed by Rob Minkoff, the director of The Lion King, which was a fantastic animated film. Mr. Peabody is voiced by Ty Burrell, and Sherman is voiced by a little kid that looks just like Sherman in the movie named Max Charles. This movie is based on two characters in the 1960s in the Bullwinkle Show. This movie is about the smartest creature in the world, a dog, that goes out and years ago adopted a kid named Sherman. And Mr. Peabody invented a time machine called the Wayback. Mr. Peabody uses the Wayback to teach Sherman all of his history lessons. He believes that the time machine is the best way to learn because he goes back and actually lives the history. The movie starts on Sherman's first day of school, and Sherman gets in a fight in his first day of school with a girl named Penny. Since Sherman got in a fight at school, now this big fat pink lady is trying to take Sherman away from Mr. Peabody. Now Penny's parents are trying to press charges against Mr. Peabody. Now in an attempt for Mr. Peabody to try to break free of the charges that Penny's parents are trying to press against him, he invites them to dinner and tries to basically bribe them into forgetting about it and show them a good time. Since Penny and her parents are at Mr. Peabody and Sherman's house, Sherman and Penny go up in his room and they try to work things out or whatever, and Sherman ends up showing Penny the way back. Penny goes into the Wayback and she goes into the Egyptian time period and she's about to marry King Tut. The first main conflict of the movie is Mr. Peabody now trying to get Penny out of the Wayback, but she's very unwilling until she finds out she's about to lose her life. When Penny finally is willing to leave the Egyptian time period because she wants to live, Mr. Peabody, Sherman, and Penny all get in the Wayback and there's a problem with the Wayback. So the first thing of the movie is them trying to fix the Wayback and get back home. Now this movie goes back to a bunch of different time periods, including the Renaissance, where they see Leonardo da Vinci. They go to the ancient Greece era, where they see the Trojan horse ordeal. And they also travel to Paris during the French Revolution. The finishing problem in the movie is that Mr. Peabody and Sherman and Penny have been traveling so much that they have tore a hole in the space-time continuum, and now all these different historical happenings are coming to present. And now Mr. Peabody has to find a way to fix the hole that's torn in the space-time continuum. I enjoyed this movie. There was a lot of kids there because obviously it's a kids and a family movie. It's definitely not The Lion King. I mean, there's not another Lion King, but it was a good movie. There were some problems like the pacing when they're doing all this different time traveling and stuff. It seemed a little bit too fast, and I don't think all these little kids are going to be able to process all this in their young brains, so they probably did not know what was going on half the time. But I'm sure they enjoyed it because all they really do is look at the screen and laugh and point and giggle and make noise and stuff. Another thing in this movie is that all the smart characters that are historical figures now, the director made these characters seem like a bunch of dumbasses. Albert Einstein was like a retard. Isaac Newton was another retard. Abraham Lincoln was a total retard. George Washington was the only one that had sense out of all of them. Mr. Peabody was also the only genius, even though Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton were standing right beside him. The film was very adventurous. I mean, like I said, it brings to all these different time periods, and most of the time periods are very enjoyable. My favorite was the Trojan horse part. Sherman was mad at Mr. Peabody, and he was trying to show everybody that he was a big badass, but he's not. So they were about to go fight the people in Troy, and when they were fighting, he basically pussied out and he was running away, and Mr. Peabody had to come save him. I kind of felt like I was watching some scenes from 300 because Mr. Peabody would do some fast jump and then jump and it'd be in slow motion like this. And then go back to fast stuff again, and then they'd be like, slow motion again, like this. There was some character development in the very beginning of the film when Sherman is telling Mr. Peabody that he loves him, and Mr. Peabody looks at him, he's like, I have a deep regard for you as well. That's his way of saying I love you. But Mr. Peabody goes and he looks on the wall, and there's all these different pictures of him and Sherman when he was little and as he progresses his age, and it showed all these different memories that he had, all these flashbacks, and that was the love that he had for Sherman, and he wasn't going to give him up and let that big fat pink lady take him away from him. Anyways guys, I enjoyed this film. It was pretty good. Mr. Peabody and Sherman entertained me, so I'm gonna give it a B. It wasn't the best animated movie ever, but I enjoyed it. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't The Lion King, but it had some good plot elements. It had some good puns, movie references throughout the film, and it kept my attention. So if you've seen it, comment down below and tell me what you thought about it. And if you like this video, like it, subscribe to my channel, Film with HD, and keep checking for new videos, guys. I'll see you guys later.